Good morning, Skidaway. I just want to thank you today. I am so very grateful for the opportunity to be able to share with you my heart and to share with my heart with our families. This week, as I've studied in Genesis 19, I have been meditating on the word peace and what that means. Last week, I was able to share with the kids that the beach is where I go a lot of times and find such peace and tranquility. But I shared with them also that I can't just run to the beach every time I feel stress. And so I have to learn to turn to God, to turn to the Bible when I feel overwhelmed. So in Genesis 19, we see Lot about to be overwhelmed. He sees the angels of the Lord coming into the city, and as they go to stay in the square, true concern, true fear for them leads him to take them into his home, to make them his guest. And then he sees them protect them from his neighbors. And in doing so, he shows his righteousness unto the Lord. And so when the angels know that the Lord's anger has been stirred against Sodom and Gomorrah, it leads them to lead Lot's family out. But what I really want us to focus on today is not Lot or the angels, but his wife. Because she turns back after being told not to, after being told something is about to be destroyed, and being urged to move quickly, after being provided with a new location to go to, after being protected, she still turns back to such chaos and destruction. I don't know if maybe she was worried. I don't know if maybe she was rubbernecking like you do when you see a terrible wreck. What I do know is she failed to heed the voice of God, that she failed to surrender to the peace that's being offered her. She turns back to literal chaos and destruction. And what I want us to recognize today is that true peace, a peace from God, comes from our obedience, from our complete obedience. I tell youth quite a lot that God's voice is quiet. God's voice to us through the Holy Spirit tends to be very still. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't come loudly to us at times, and it truly does. But for the most part, in our everyday lives, I've found that God's voice is a still, quiet voice. And when we reject it, when we don't heed it, that voice becomes quieter and quieter until we can't hear it anymore. My encouragement for us today is that whatever the chaos is around us, that we seek out that voice. I mentioned earlier being blessed to be able to work and share with our kids. I have been led to lead them in daily devotionals, and it's made me take time to study the Christmas story day by day, and I have loved it. I have been blessed by it. I am filled with God's peace because of it. So wherever you go to find God's voice in your lives, whether it's singing a song of praise, whether it is following his commandments to give and to take care of others, I pray that we put our focus back on God this Christmas, because he's the one that gives us our peace. So find some stillness, find God's voice for you this week. Have a good day, Skidaway.